Hello there, my name is Marcus and welcome to Tabletop Reviews, where I'm back with a recording of this. Yay! Missed out 2 weeks, but I'm gonna try and make that the only 2 weeks. I just kind of decided that I would rather wait, not upload something and then wait to upload a proper video than upload something that I didn't like. Because I didn't have time to do it properly and I want to do it properly. I want to make videos that I enjoy and that I'm proud to actually release. Anyway, today I'm having a look at Cat in the Box, the quantum trick-taking game. This is the deluxe version from 2023, I want to say. I think the regular version was 22, and the deluxe was 23, I believe. So yeah, I went it wrong. But yeah, the quantum trick-taking game. It's a trick-taking game. But yeah, let's get it to the table and see how it's set up and played. Okay, Cat in the Box here. Let's get it out of the box. Let's check if it's still alive. Ha ha ha. Okay. First thing to talk about, I just want to point it out here. You have this little here board, which has the numbers 1 to 9. I'll tell what it needs to be done for. But essentially it's about collecting some casings here. So you've got the blue 8, the blue 7, the yellow 7, the green 7, and the green 6. You sort of have assembled these here, right? And therefore you can, to bring in a greater challenge, flip these cards around to their purple side. I'm just going to flip 2 of these cards around to show. Now you can see the difference. The green one's where they need to be, but the red one has been moved, the blue one, the yellow one, making it a bit more difficult to create those gatherings of colors. So yeah, that's just a really cool thing, and I think it's very neat that they do it with these cards, which I should probably show you. It's just slid in right here. That's these 2 are cards as well. So yeah, but this one goes into the middle of the table, just anywhere. Then you have these things here. Each person will get 1 of these, which are basically triple layers, and then depending on the player count, you will flip in 2 or 3 players, 4 or 5 players. So I'm just gonna put them like this. I'm not gonna do it in a simple way, and I'm just gonna bring these cards, which are. This is actually for a 3-player game, so maybe we should flip it like this to keep it realistic. This is the starting player card, which also shows you the direction of play, which we absolutely need to remember actually. So yeah, and I needn't forget, each player gets 1 of these as a player color. I'm just going to bring out the yellow ones to showcase, just as the example. God. Okay, and if you are playing with less than 5 players, then that means the way it adjusts for players is the amount of cards, the numbers that are in you. So this was 1 to 9, but this for a 3-player game you will only play with the numbers 1 to 6. So you could take these little cat heads and place them on the 7s. Please say it was just in reach here. God damn. This is weird. I got it. You place it on all the 7s here just to showcase, okay, the maximum is 6. It's 1 to 6. It's a nice thing to help you to remember what is the max amount. So yeah, but this one will be shuffled up and a number card will be distributed based on player count. In a 3-player game, it is 10. Actually, in a 2 to 4-player game, it's 10. It's 10 for each player. In a 5-player game, it's 9. So this would be distributed. Now I know for a 3-player game, it just means all of the cards. It does not for a 2 or a 4-player game. A 5-player game is also just all the cards in 5 equal piles. So I know that now. Now you also know that. But this would be it then. I'm just gonna bring this out just to showcase. Anyways, how you will set up here is you will take 1 of your symbols and place it on the little square of each individual color. Just like this. See, there's a little square where they can fit into for each color. And then in the middle it says 1, 3, 4. On the other side it says 1, 2, 3. This is because it's a 2-3-player game. Actually only used for a 3-player game. I'll get to that. But what that is you betting on how many tricks you will take. So you could put it in 1, 3, or 4. I'm just going to put it in 3. Now that's what I've been betting on now. Let's get into how you actually play and how you win such a so-called trick, because I just used a term which you may not even be familiar with. The first thing you do is you choose one of the cards in here that you are not going to be using. This one is removed from your hand, removed for the game, not played this round. Now, one thing that would be incredibly clever to do is get the fucking rid of one of the fours. You have 4 fours. I'll get into why that is, but that's to avoid something called a paradox. So I always remove the one that I have the most about of. I usually have something where you have 3, 4 fours. That's incredible. That's insane. So that's removed face down. Each other player also removes a card face down. 3 cards have been removed. And now we're ready to actually play. Let's say I'm the starting player. I choose to play a card, whatever color I want. So say I play a yellow 6. Now then I take one of these here to place it on the yellow. And I place it on the yellow side. So it's yellow here, bam. But each card, as you can see, is just black. So it has no color. So by playing it, I now choose which color it has. It's sort of the Schrödinger's cat theme, where you know, is it dead, is it alive? Which color is it? You don't know until you reveal. It's sort of the theme. It's none. Yeah, I will talk about it, but you know. And then the other players will also chime in. Let's just see what they play if I flip over these here. So a 3 and a 1, and they would fit, you know, on the 3 and on the 1 here. Because they know they can't win it, because 6 is the highest number. Or could they? Because what blue could have done, instead of here, is he could have said, well, I don't have any yellows. So I played on the red instead. Because red is what is called the trump suit. So it wins always. The direction of who wins is trump suit, lead suit. That's it. The lead suit is the one I played here. So I played a yellow 6 as the starting player. So yellow is the leading suit. And, well, the red player followed suit, while the blue player did not, but he played a red, so therefore he wins, because red trumps. And he would sort of say, he would take that trick, and I could think, ah shit, that was my 6, I needed that. Then he will play something different here. This is the blue player. He plays a 2. He plays a 2 of blue. He's betting on something. He might have another 1, he might have another 2, whatever. He plays a 2 blue. This player plays a 4 blue. Just hoping for the best. And then I sit here going, okay, so I could follow suit, follow in blue. I have a 5, I could win it. I could do that. I could also not follow suit and play something different. And if I did that, let's say I played a 5 red instead. Then I would remove the one from down here, right? I would remove from blue. Because blue would delete suit. I have to follow suit. I have to play the color. I should probably say that. You have to play the color that was played. So blue was played. I have to play blue if I have it. I have all the colors, so it's my choice to now say I have no more blue. So I remove my little thingy from the blue and put it on the red here. Well, that's always what we do. But I remove from here to showcase I don't have any more blue. So play that red, and I take the trick. Yay! Now that trick is mine. And say I play the red 4 now. Let's just see what these guys follow up with. Well, none of them can play that. I'm not gonna be... Jesus, okay, whatever. We play like this until either we run out of cards or we're in a situation where, I don't know, all the 5s have been taken. Let's say all the 5s have been taken. They've marked up, and we're sitting with this player over here who only has a 5 and a 6 left. All the 5 are taken, and he has said, well, I can't play any more blue. So he can't play anymore. He can't play anything legally, because there's 4 colors, there's 5 of each card. So he puts the cards down, he says, it's a paradox. That's the other way. All cards run out, or you create a paradox where you can't play legally. Too bad. So yeah, and now it's scoring time. The way you score is, well, first of all, if you have won a trick, well, you just take the points for the amount of tricks. So if you win 2 tricks, you get 2 points. But we also had this bet at the start, and let's say this player here did manage to win exactly 3 tricks. And also, they did not start a paradox. If you scored a paradox, you don't score points. You do something different. But let's say this person here had 3 tricks, and they had played out these colors here, just like this. They would say, okay, I've got 3 tricks, and then that is correctly guessed, and then you find the gathering of symbols I have in here. So I have 3 symbols here, I have 3 symbols here. That's my largest groups. So I score 3 points for guessing correctly. If I guessed incorrectly, as I said 4, I only won 3. These doesn't matter. I still score 4 points because I have 4 tricks. Well, oh no, I still score 3 points because I have the 3 tricks, right? But I didn't guess correctly. These doesn't mean anything. If I was the one who started the paradox, the guessing stuff doesn't matter, but the tricks are minus points. So here we're getting minus 3 points. So yeah, that's the scoring. That's the gist of the scoring and the gameplay. You play the same amount of rounds as you are player. So 3 players, 3 rounds, 4 players, 4 rounds. And whoever has the most amount of points is the winner. A slight change for a 2-player game is you don't bet on anything. You don't bet on if you win something, but if you win 4 or more tricks, you get this extra scoring. And somebody is going to do that because in a 4-player game there is going to be like 9 tricks. So somebody should be winning 5 or more. Unless of course you do a paradox quite early on. But yeah, that's the difference for a 2-player game. You don't bet on how many tricks you win. So yeah, that is Cat in the Box. Let's get back to the table. Alright, there we go. That is the gameplay of it. Let's talk about it. Well, let's talk about the setup first, which is, well, nice and simple. You just put the board out. Of course, if you are multiple people who want to try to do the challenge, you flip those cards around. But when you do it the first time, you can just stick with that, and then just find the correct amount of cards to shuffle up. The only annoying thing is the little tokens in here per player. They're very annoying to get out, and they're also quite annoying to get in. So that's a little bit of that's annoying, but they're really cool, and it's worth it. I mean, if you have enough players, you can just dump everything out of the box. It should be easy enough to negate it like that. But yeah, it's a small little annoyance. Yeah, anyways, talk about gameplay. It has a weird gameplay. Like essentially, it is just trick taking, which I enjoy. But you have this weird thing about, of course, every card is every color until throughout the game. It is a bit difficult to explain, and it causes the game to be quite open for your choices and the risks that you are willing to take. Like, we have had some gameplays where someone just said, okay, you're playing blue? Yeah, well, I don't have blue, but I have red, do, and go like that. I've done that. And sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's not. But yeah, it has this very, very open thing for your choices and the risks that you yourselves are willing to take. You can take very low risk, you can take quite high risks and try to reap the rewards. The thing of trying to fit your tiles, and tiles not the correct word, but like on the numbers, trying to fit that together as many as possible. I find it to be quite a weird one, quite an interesting one. But something that's a bit annoying. I think I've only managed to get 4. My wife is someone who's really, really good at getting those numbers together, but she almost never gets the correct amount of tricks. And sometimes I mean, that's a bit of a weird one. I enjoy it. It's just very annoying to actually get it done properly. But I still do enjoy doing that little weird one. So that's a pretty cool one. And talking about the scoring part, that's the scoring part, of course, is I like that it is sort of this 2-part where you can score bonus in here, but you still just score for the tricks. So if you guess incorrectly, but you still have a couple of tricks, you will still score points. That's really nice. I have played some trick takers where if you guess correctly, you score points. If not, you don't score any point. You don't get anything. And this gets around that very neatly way by allowing you to still score some points. I think that's a very welcome thing, that you don't necessarily have to guess correctly. I will talk about a house rule that we use, because in this one you can play whatever color whenever. I don't remember saying that red is blocked. A lot of trick takers will do that. The trump suit you maybe can't play right away, and we've tried doing that. We've tried playing, well, the first round you cannot play red at all, and then from then on you cannot have red be the played suit. the lead suit is the word for it, until someone has played it out by folding in the color. I can't remember that word. In Danish I would say krybe. If someone creeps, it means that you have not played the correct color, the lead suit color. I can't remember what they say in this one. But when that's done, you can play red. And it's an interesting and welcome change, I think. Mixing it up a little bit. Because it becomes a very obvious strategy to just go, okay, I've got a 6, a 5, and a 4. I'm going to go for 3 tricks, and I'm going to start off with red. Which just puts trumps out of the game right away. And that's annoying. That's very annoying. You have a nice thing with this trump suit. So yeah. The annoying part is, besides that, is the paradoxes. Because it's very much set in the rulebook as if you can end a round by one of 2 ways, running out of cards, or by encountering a paradox. If you're playing at 3+ players, you're going to 99% of the time encounter a paradox. At 4 or 5, it's guaranteed. You cannot avoid a paradox. At 3, I think there's like a slight, tiny little chance to avoid a paradox. At 2 players, I think it's going to be a 50-50 mix, as far as I can count in my head. But yeah, at 3, 4, 5, you are basically going to encounter a paradox every time. And if they were just honest about it in the rulebook, saying, okay, you're going to encounter a paradox, that would be nice. Because I play in my head around it saying, okay, I know I need to win these amounts of tricks, I want to fit them in here, but I need to get rid of being the one to play the lead suit. Because at some point we're going to encounter a paradox, and if I'm continuing to be the lead suit, I'm the one who has to start playing, and the chance of me being the one, it's so often it's the person that has to play out for the lead suit and that I can't play. So often that happens. It becomes one that creates a paradox. And it's a very interesting way to play around that, but the rulebook needs to be honest about it, because you are going to encounter a paradox. At 4 or 5 players, it's guaranteed. 3, it's basically 100% guaranteed. Wait, no, at 3, I think it's also 100% guaranteed at 3. At 3, 4, or 5, you are going to encounter a paradox. That's it, done. That's guaranteed to happen at bare minimum in their last round. And they just need to be honest about that. So in a 2-player, less likely, but still quite likely. I think it's about 50-50 if you're going to encounter a paradox or not. So yeah. But yeah, other than that, the 2-player mode is actually pretty interesting, where you don't guess, but if you win enough tricks, you can score some bonus points. It's an interesting back and forth at a 2-player game, making it fun enough. Not like really haha funny, but it's a good variation in the game and a good mode for the game. So it's a good 2-player variant that doesn't change the game too much and becomes a 2-player mode, sort of like 7 Wonders, which actually doesn't contain it anymore. So yeah, that is, I think that's about all that I have to say about the gameplay. Just a quick overall, it is trick taking where you just don't have, where the suits, all your cards are non-suited, making for this very, very interesting risks and choices, risk and reward playing style for a trick taker. So really good there. So yeah, components. We have, well, of course you have the cards. Those are important. I like them. They are fine. The numbers are easily readable, and that's about it. That needs to be readable on them. You don't need to know the color, of course. So nice cards, lovely illustrations of the cats there. So those are good. The middle board thing is nice. Good that it's dual layers, so you can get your tokens in there. And the little cards you slide in are a cool addition. It's a cool way of doing that, I think, instead of just flipping the board around. Maybe also cheaper to do it that way. So yeah, the main draw of this deluxe version is those little plastic pieces, the player plastic pieces. And I love them. The little clear ones, almost looking like they're glass, but they are plastic. Such a lovely little component to have and to utilize with your own player board and on the main central board. So very lovely there. Theme. I think it's funny. This cat in the box is obviously based on Schrödinger's cat, where you don't know it's alive or not. Here you don't know the color until it's out or revealed. So it's a funny theme, but it is a trick taker, and it's basically a non-existing theme. That's usually how it goes in these trick takers. But it is funny, and they utilize it well in the rulebook for you. It's an experiment too. So nice of them to do that. But it's non-existent. It's still a good game. Does it lie to you? So it says right here on the side of the box, ages 10 and up, 20 to 50 minutes, and 2 to 5 players. And I'm taking those in reverse order. 2 to 5 players. I think it has really good balancing. It's the simple thing of just removing some cards based on player count, and that just works really well. It works well in all cards that does it. 7 Wonders as well. Just to mention that in a positive light, I think the 2-player mode was a negative. Now it's a positive, and this does it really well as well. I will say it is best at 3+. The 2-player mode, as I said, 2-player. At 2 players, it's good. It's not a mode, in so to speak. But it definitely, I think it's better when you bet on how many tricks you're going to take, and it's a little bit more unknown because you're facing off against more opponents. I prefer the 3, but that's because I can usually win at 3 players, not at 4 or 5. But I think it's better at 3+. Those little higher player counts is where it's really good. More cards, more chaos, more thinking. So yeah, pretty good there. 20 to 50 minutes. I would say it's a very wide span, and I think generally it's going to run you 35 minutes. That's generally speaking, right? It's going to go by fairly quickly. Of course, it's a bit longer. It's basically saying 10 minutes per player, which, 5 to 10 minutes per player. I mean, fairly accurate. But you can go through it fairly quickly, actually. So, but fairly accurate. And then 10 and up. It's a difficult thing to wrap your head around. This thing with your cards doesn't have a color, but it has all the colors. You decide when you don't have a color. I've definitely had someone who they always play, if it was possible for them to play a card in that color, no matter what, they did. Whereas I was like, well, I'm withdrawing from blue already. I said, what? Can you do that? Yes, that's the point. So it's a difficult thing to wrap your head around a little bit in that sense. And I would definitely say, play other trick takers first, like play Rebel Princess first. That's a really good one to start off with. Play Rebel Princess first, get those basic things down, you know, delete suit, follow suit, not following suit, whatever that is called, I can't remember. All that, get that down before working on to Cat in the Box. If you do that, you can go for younger age, but you need to have a basic understanding of trick taking before going to this one, I think. Just because of that way thing of the cards have every color, but they have no color. So think about that definitely. The score for this one is going to be an 8 out of 10. So yeah, not quite high, but it's still a really, really good game. It's a fun game. It's becoming one of our most played trick takers. People really like to play it. So it's really nice. I think one thing that drags it down is that there's a very obvious strategy. If we follow the basic rules, people are just going to go with the first place guy's going to, okay, well, red. Red is gone. Okay, blue, 6, green, 6, whatever. That becomes a little bit boring. House rule a little bit, but it's always going to drag down when you use a house rule. I will never ever do that. And then of course, the thing that you always encounter, paradox. Those two things are dragging down a little bit, but overall it's a really good game that fits in 2 to 5 players in a really neat way. In a really good trick taker. Not a starting trick taker, but that's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing to be a starting trick taker either. It's just a thing that it is. So yeah, Cat in the Box, I absolutely recommend it. And am I keeping it? Hell yeah, I am. It's a most played trick taker right now, I think. It's coming up on being the most played trick taker at least. So yeah, I absolutely recommend this one. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!